up and say a few words. And then we have two more representatives and senators to come forward.
Thank you, Dana. I want to thank NOW for organizing this rally this year. We've been standing out in the freezing cold for all these years. Thank you so much. I serve as chair for the Coalition for Choice currently, and they told you who our partners are, and I'm grateful for all of them. And I also am Vice President of Public Affairs for Planned Parenthood, and I'm also Director of Security. Does that strike you as at all strange? Strikes me as a kind of an unusual job. Because part of our job is not just trying to defeat these bills, and I have to thank our legislators for fighting and for beating every bill that we've had over all the decades. When last year, in state legislators across the country, they passed over 211 pieces of legislation restricting abortion choice. So our legislators deserve just a huge applause from us. And they deserve our support, and they need it because it's going to get harder every time. There's a very large anti-choice presence here in New Mexico, and we see it every single day at Planned Parenthood, at UNM Reproductive Health Center, and at Southwestern Women's Options, because these people are on our sidewalks. They're associated with Operation Rescue, which is a terrorist organization. I hate to send you to their website, but you really ought to go look and see what they're up to. And so what I'm going to ask for you to do today, besides support our legislators, is when you hear the nonsense that people and lies that these folks are saying about reproductive health, about birth control, about abortion, saying that it's not safe, that it's bad for women, I would like you to fight back. When you hear someone call the morning after pill an abortion pill, correct them. It's contraception. It prevents an unplanned pregnancy. So how you can help us is when you see something in the newspaper, or you see something, because boy, they're out there and they are challenging us, and they are really, really trying to defame our reputations as providers in a way that will take away the rights of our women to access reproductive health. So if you can make us the bad guy and say that we're harming women, that's what they're doing. So please, I ask you to fight back whenever you hear this kind of language, which is very destructive. So, anyone else go see Red Tails this weekend? Anyone? No one in this room? How do we end? We fight! We fight! We fight! So please stay with us, support our legislators, and fight back. Thank you.
Great, and we will continue to fight. There's no question about that. Okay, to my right here is Senator Fishman, who has a few words to say.
Thank you. When we talk about women's right to choose, one of the comments we'll hear quite often from the more extreme elements of the right to life movement is this idea that anybody who supports the right to choose is somehow a murderer. And I'm looking out at all of you who obviously support a woman's right to choose. And I have to tell you, I'm not feeling very scared. I mean, if you guys want to threaten me, I think you're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time scaring me. And somehow you just don't look that evil to me. I don't know what it is. If you attack me after I talk, well, okay, maybe I'll change my mind. But right now, I feel pretty safe with you guys. And so I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Who here thinks that abortion is the way to solve all of our family planning issues? Who wants more abortions in order to solve family planning issues? Anybody? No, you guys are kind of quiet on that. It doesn't sound like it. Is there anybody here who's against birth control? This is a terrible crowd. Nobody's raising their hands. When a woman dies because she went to get an illegal abortion, or because for health she decided, even though there were health issues, not to get an abortion, do we call someone in the right to life movement a murderer? I don't think so. I think this is a pretty, forgiving group. We let people make their own choices. So the only point I want to make here is I see a lot of good people trying to do a lot of good for good families and allow them choice in their lives. And I, for one, looking out at this audience, knowing that none of you have threatened to kill me yet, trust you all to make good choices for your lives. And I think we should be asking everybody to trust one another to make the right decisions for their lives and not interfere. And I just want to let you know that I trust you all, and I'm going to trust you with the right to choose. And I sure hope the legislature continues to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great words. Okay, and our next speaker